Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And as you can't see here, but maybe you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about Draftosaurus. A game that we don't actually own, but you can kind of talk about why we're doing this video.
We're doing it because, as you can see from the hat, I'm doing this in every video we film today. As you can see from the hat and this egg and all of these dino games back here, Dino Mania is running wild, brother!
And Dino Junior. Yes, we are doing a bunch of videos on the dinosaur themed board games that we've played, that we own, or in this case, have played on Board Game Arena.
Yes.
I think it works very well on there.
Yes, very nice implementation.
But yeah, so we don't actually own a hard copy of the game.
An egg that he had gotten with a mystery inside. Maybe we will reveal someday.
Right, possibly. But yeah, so Draftosaurus. What were your thoughts kind of going into Draftosaurus, or what were you looking for?
With the kind of silly name and just kind of the look of the game, I thought it would be still have that theme of running a theme park, dinosaur theme park, but probably a little smaller and not as heavy as some of the other games that we do have, like Dinosaur Island and Dinogenics. Just kind of more of a family weight game, which I was actually looking forward to because, well, one, it looks nice from pictures. Obviously, we haven't played with the actual components, but little dinosaur meeples, so I was like, that'll be a nice, lighter weight game, but still get to enjoy that theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was kind of in the same boat. I might have actually been a little more excited than you were. I think this was one that I kind of looked at several times about possibly getting. I can't remember though. I think the price point was just a little high for what when I'd kind of looked at what the game was, because it seemed like a somewhat simpler drafting game. But I did like the theme and like you said, the components. The dinosaur meeples are very bright colors. Which just look really nice. But I was still excited to try it, and when I saw that it was on Board Game Arena, I think it's under the premium thing or whatever, so you'd either have to just wait for a table to come open or get that membership.
Which I find it doesn't take too long to find a table with a lot of the games. I think that's one of the more popular ones, so I don't think it should be too hard. You shouldn't have to pay money, but if you did want to have a private table with you and your friends online,
one of you
would have to be premium.
But yeah, that's one of many other games on there too, which I think Board Game Arena, if you're looking to try some of the games and they have them on there, I think it's a very good implementation of a lot of the games that make sure you're following the rules. So that's always solid.
Sometimes you're confused when you don't understand a rule and it won't let you do something.
Right.
It's like, why can't I do that?
Right. And
I'm clicking.
But yeah, so we've played it a couple times.
This
is kind of the first impression, even though we have a few plays of it.
It had been a while
quick game. We had
since I'd played it last, but it's pretty. It's like I said, it's a pretty simple game. So just playing it once now, I kind of brought all that back, and it wasn't too hard to get into.
And especially on there, it only takes about 5 minutes to play. So it is very much shorter than the rest of them.
Yes.
But yeah, even though playing it, I think once I played it, it was maybe a little. I don't know if it was too simple. Drafting is one of the mechanisms that I really like in games. I think that's especially the simpler ones when you can easily, like a Sushi Go Party or something, where you're quickly going through drafting something and passing it to the next person. I really like that, and that's the case in this one. That's why it's so fast. You're just I think in the real game when you have them, I think you're keeping them hidden in your hands, which I don't know if you have sweaty hands and stuff. I don't know about those. I think I saw in the Dice Tower Tom had bought some. I don't know what they were, but like they opened up, you could have the dinosaurs in there. So I thought that was pretty cool if we ever did end up getting the game. But yeah, it is very simple. I almost feel like it's not long enough.
I agree on that. feel like you don't get to do enough in the game. I feel like, okay, I set this up. And I think, yeah, you just don't get enough dinos. I don't think, because my first thing I did in this game we just played, I put a blue up, and I wanted a lot of blues in that corner. But at least in a two-player game, you don't get to see a lot of dinos. And I remember that in other games as well, where it's just kind of a lot of luck of what shows up, and you're not drafting a lot, so you're not going to see that hand a ton of times to where it's like, okay, I'll have another chance at it. It's like, if it's a good one for you, you're probably not going to see it. And that mixed with when you do have a chance to get it, it can be determined by the die roll where you get to place it. Where it's like, oh, I finally got that blue one I was planning on getting. It did get around to me, but the die rolled, and I can only place it on the right side of my park, and I needed it on the left. And I feel like having that kind of the limited options, and then just not, if you got to play a few more rounds, I think it would even out. But since there are so few rounds and it can hurt you like that, I think that hurts the game a little bit for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
A little too much
on
luck.
that part as well. I think that's where that comes from, a feeling like it's almost too short. And I usually don't say that about games, that they're too short and I really want them longer. But this one, I think I would want it, longer. I just don't know if then you'd get too many points. I'm not 100% sure on that, how it would work, or if you'd get your board too full, or if it makes some of those things hard to score because, like, some of them you only want that to be the only one of that color in your park. I think there's a bunch of different scoring options. Some you're trying to get all the same, some you're trying to get one of each different one.
And I think there's two sides to the board. And I played on the other side once, and I forget exactly how it worked, but I mean, it's just kind of a similar thing.
So so maybe that's why it wouldn't work if you had too many, then you start messing up some of the zones or whatever.
Just a little more control, I think I would like.
I think that, I'm not sure, because, we obviously did not design the game or anything, and maybe it just wouldn't work if you didn't have that die. Maybe that it would just be too much freedom. So that might have been why that was added.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. But, that's sounding negative on the game, but I do really like it. I think this is one that I think it could really be played by pretty much anyone, new people to the hobby. I think it'd be a really good one for that, because I don't have kids and whatnot, and I don't spend that much time with kids, so I don't really know how young someone could be to play this. But I think a lot of it would make sense for learning some things too, as to like trying to get all the same, trying to get different ones, trying to get pairs,
different colors. So I mean, it should be pretty easy to tell them apart. It's not like you can't put the Velociraptor with the Tyrannosaurus.
Right.
There's the blue one, the red one, the green one. It's pretty easy to tell apart. I think you could play this at a pretty young age, other than possibly swallowing the small parts might be an issue if you get too young, but I think it's pretty darn accessible.
That's what I'd say. I think out of all the dinosaur games that I've played anyway, it's the most accessible out of all of them.
I would say so.
By probably quite a large margin. If you're looking for one to play with your kids, I would say this one is definitely the one, and I think there's still interesting choices in the game. But like you said, sometimes it feels like those are taken away from you with the die roll, so you have to kind of maybe play to that. We've only played it, I know, a couple times, so maybe with more plays you could see how to better prepare yourself for those types of things. But it's just, I think it's too short to really do that, because you're only is it only 12 dinosaurs you're placing out?
12, at least in a two-player game. Did you give it a number?
I did not give it a number. I think I'd still give it like a 7, right around a 7, because I think it's still a solid game, but I don't know, since I have access to it on Board Game Arena, I don't think it would be one that I would play, whereas there has been, well, at least one I've really like Nidavellir on Board Game Arena and did end up buying it, so it isn't quite to that level where I'm like, I really want to own this one. But I think I would, if someone was asking for an accessible one, I would recommend that one for them to buy, and I would still feel like that was a solid game to recommend.
Yeah, I'm about the same here, a 7 to 7.5. I think it's a pretty simple game, like we've said, but I think the theme, as well as I assume the production, because it looks really nice in the app implementation, as well as I assume it looks good and feels good in person. I'm not sure do you know who publishes this, if they're known for good productions?
I'm actually not sure who does this one. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, Dino Meeples, and I really like the look of the artwork in the game. I think that's what would get this pulled off the shelf versus a lot of other simpler games. And sometimes, I mean, I would play this. I mean, I play Yahtzee still, and that's a game that's very, very simple, but sometimes you just want to play a lighter game and try to beat your own score type of thing, or even if there's a lot of luck.
Right, so. And I can see that being I don't know if this has a solo mode. I am not sure. I could see it maybe having one because of the die.
Yeah.
And maybe that's one of the reasons they added it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this would be a fun one to try to beat your own score, because I would think it'd be really fast, and I think it would be an enjoyable thing to try to beat it every time.
Yeah.
So that is Draftosaurus. But yeah, if you want to see some more dinosaur videos, including a list of all the dinosaur games we've played, kind of ranking them all out, along with ranking all the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, including the most recent Dominion. Definitely subscribe so you get to see when those come out. Otherwise, you can go back and check out all of our other dinosaur-related videos, some playthroughs, some first impressions, some unboxings. All the good stuff.
Have as much content to be longer than the actual Jurassic franchise.
Yes. But yeah, check those out. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next video. And as always, don't forget to
keep on drafting those dinosaurs.